Om Sadgurubhyo Namaha. Our most respected Dr. B.V.R. Mohan Reddy, a recipient of Padma Shri and chairperson of the Board of Governors, respected Dr. Murthy, Director IIT Hyderabad, the proud teaching staff of this temple of Goddess Saraswati, the successful outgoing students who are the very symbol of the great future of Bharat, their parents and friends. I really deem it an honor to have been asked to be the chief guest on this very auspicious event. And I thank from the bottom of my heart your chairman and the director for all the kind words they spoke about me. I really feel it's an honor to have been asked by your revered director to deliver the convocation address. What wonderful achievement it has been for your institution. Your alma mater is the pride of our country. Some of you may be apprehensive about the relevance of an artist like me to be asked to shoulder this intellectual responsibility of giving the convocation address. Probably your director had trust in me, knowing that it is a follow-up of my having given the convocation address last year at IIT Madras, and also recently having given the keynote address at IIT Mandi for the International Conference on Mind, Brain and Consciousness. It is not an exaggeration to believe that science and arts are the two eyes of our Bharat. Swami Vivekananda, who created a global stir by addressing the American audience as brothers and sisters, was to a great extent responsible for the revival of respect for our history and culture. He felt that India had a rich cultural heritage encompassing literature, art, music, and philosophy. Our country was at that time under foreign rule, which was controlling not only power, but the very mindset of our people. Thanks to our Honorable Prime Minister, Shri Narendra Modi ji, for kindling common self-esteem through umpteen projects. It may be scaling the skies or guarding our frontiers. Science protects our physical well-being, and the arts stir the intangible divinity in the tangible humans. It works as a catalyst to realize higher values like Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam. That is, humanity is one family of divine origin. There is a global realization of the fact that Bharat had led the world in the path of spiritual awakening. It is this spiritual aura that our foreigners, the invaders, could not wipe out in spite of political power. Like the phoenix, the mythical bird, the Greek bird, this spiritual energy keeps being reborn in our country, which has enjoyed mind-boggling antiquity in its intellectual and aesthetic quest, all born on the firm spiritual ground. Even your IIT Hyderabad has to be something like a temple that you will never forget in your life. In our Bharat, science and art had grown hand in hand and side by side. They were never divergent from each other. Education is given a name, Vidya, in India, and it is defined as Sa Vidya Ya Vimuchyate. That is, learning is that which liberates. Liberation is not mukti, and it has more layers of meaning. The very first learning, a very first lesson taught in traditional learning was the individual's relationship with the entire creation. This education was given to all strata of society with gender no bar. It is that seed which is thousands of years old, which has been and still is producing the common cultural roots all over our country in the urban, rural, and tribal areas. Swami Dayananda Saraswati of Arsha Vidya Kurukulam beautifully described Sanatana Dharma as follows, quote, "Whereas other faiths proclaim that there is only one God, Hindu philosophy confirms that there is only God." Thank you. This concept gave not only self-esteem in different walks of life, but also inspired excellence through the ideal work is worship. What is Sanatana Dharma, which encompasses every aspect of life? Sanatana means anadi, or beginningless, that is eternal. Dharma can be roughly understood as codes. Hinduism is a way of life and not just a religion. It had spread all over the world, as pointed out by Pujya Chandrasekharendra Saraswati Swamigal, the 68th Shankaracharya of the illustrious Kanchi Kamakoti Peetham, in his book Aspects of Our Religion. Here are some examples. 1. An Egyptian inscription from 1280 BCE talks about a peace treaty between Ramesses II and the Hittites, where a reference to Vedic dual deity Maitra Varuna has been made. Place names in the island of Madagascar resembling that of Rama is there. Thirdly, Ram Sita is a festival in Mexico, and it is even now called Sitwa Raimi, which is celebrated around the same time as our Navaratri. And the discovery of Ganesha idols in the region of the Mayan civilization. The name of the civilization of the Aztecs, according to Paramacharya, is a corrupt form of the word Astika, which is a term used to refer to those who believed in gods in Vedas. It is the opposite of Nastika, the term used to refer to those who did not believe in the Vedas, that is Nastika. Nastika is the atheist. The Vedas are the earliest extant literature in the world, which are said to have been received by rishis from cosmic sounds. A rishi is one who sees beyond the physical eyes and hears beyond the physical ears. The mantras received were transferred to humanity by these extraordinary human beings who had drawn into their lives all the potentials that are not available for all normal human beings. Hence, the rishis were the mantra karta. They were not the mantra karta or composers of the mantras, but mantra drishta, that is, those who realized and received those cosmic sounds. As scientists, you may be knowing, which I came to know recently, that our pranava mantra Om is recognized from inside the sun. I read this recently. So that Omkara is the Nada Brahma concept of our Hindu philosophy, which is coming close to science. The Vedas are 4 in number, and it would be interesting to know for you the subjects they offer Sanatana Dharma classified Vidya as para and apara. The former is spiritual pursuit and the latter contains codes for worldly pursuits. The Upavedas are the branches of Vedas. Rigveda gave rise to Ayurveda, the science of medicine. Yajurveda speaks of rituals and it is the mother of Dhanurveda, which includes archery. Samaveda gives rise to the Gandharva Veda, that is music and performing arts. Atharva Veda gave rise to Arthashastra, politics. The four Vedas have 6 elements of subjects. Siksha is pronunciation, Vyakarana is grammar, Nirukta is etymology, Chandas is meter and prosody, Jyotisha is astrology and astronomy and calculating time, Kalpa is the rituals. Other branches of Vedic literature include the following: Ganita Shastra, mathematics culled out of Yajurveda and Shulba Sutra. This was followed by Aryabhatta and Bhaskaracharya. Arthashastra is a science of polity and administration. Chanakya's name is well known. Kama Sutra is a science of erotic pleasure. Hence, Vidya or education was for both worldly satisfaction and heavenly satisfaction. Various philosophical schools contributed to knowledge such as Anu Shastra. Anu is the name given for atom, and our ancients knew that Anu can be split. So they have a word Paramanu for the subatom. Atomic science developed by sage Kanada as part of Vaisheshika philosophy was well known at that time. So our ancients knew about the subatom. The Pramana Shastra, science of logic, has developed as sage Gautama as part of Nyaya philosophy. This is also very important for scientists. Vakya Shastra is hermeneutics, developed by sage Jaimini as part of Mimamsa philosophy. Natya Shastra was written by Bharata Muni as science of the art of drama. Agama Shastra deals with temple architecture, engineering, sculpture, and also rules of worship. One who is an expert in all these is called the Sthapati. Shilpa Shastra deals with the drawing, painting, and making of sculptures. In other words, it's a science of iconography, including metallurgy and knowledge of wood and stone. Natya Shastra and Shilpa Shastra are like twins in the Indian tradition because both these are based on laws of proportion and symmetry. These arts are absolutely based on the basic philosophy of proportion and symmetry. And that is why when you see a dance sculpture, it is described as something like a dancer coming alive. And when you see a good dance and a dancer is striking a good posture, you say she looks very sculpturesque. This is because both these arts are based on filling space based on symmetry and proportion. And this philosophy of aesthetics is common for the entire Asia. From an esoteric point of view, the two syllables ta and la symbolize the universal parents, Shiva and Parvati. Tala indicates the rhythmic aspect in music and dance when it is measuring time. The same term refers to the measurement of space in the dancing body. For instance, the space between the feet for various postures is measured as number of talas. Tala is the measuring unit in sculpture. A tala can be nearly one span, that should be the yardstick for the height of the icon. For instance, icons of Hindu Trinity are to be made in 10 talas. One tala is equal to the size of the face of the figure. You can also measure your own face. If you measure your face, it will be just one span. And so, based on this one span, sculptures are to be made. There are at least 158 codes to be followed in making a Nataraja icon. The science of metallurgy is synthesized with the art of iconography. In 2023, a 28-foot high Nataraja made of an alloy of 8 metals was created for display in Bharat Mandapam in New Delhi during the G20 summit. This was done at the behest of our Honorable Prime Minister by one Radhakrishnan Stapati and his brothers, who are traditional artisans belonging to a 1,000-year-old tradition of Swami Malai, a pilgrimage center in Tamil Nadu. I had the privilege of overseeing the wax model that was prepared before the molten metal was poured. I made sure that every inch of this gigantic figure was in line with the mathematical and geometrical codes given in the Shastra. It is a great piece of art trumpeting the synthesis of art, science, and religion, permanently standing in that venue in all its magnificence. The Natya Shastra analyzes the whole physiology of human beings under major and minor limbs and gives names for the exercises for these limbs from head to toe. These exercises are the elementary pedagogy to learn the units of dance called karanas. 108 such units are described in the Natya Shastra as being danced by Shiva and Parvati. Frozen moments of these movements are still sculpted authentically in 3 temples in Tamil Nadu. The Tanjavur Brihadishwara temple belonging to the 11th century, the sculptures of Sharangpani Swami temple in Kumbakonam belonging to 12th century, and the dancing Parvati figures of Chidambaram Nataraja temple belonging to the 13th century. This was the subject of my PhD thesis. These karanas are found in as sculpture even in central Java in Indonesia. While the karanas are movements of the whole body, their sculptural codification is like documentation of the art. What is known today as Nataraja figure is the 24th Karana, Bhujangatrasitam of Natya Shastra. There is a great tattva or philosophic symbolism in this figure. Shiva has 4 hands. The upper right hand has a small damaru or drum, causing sound and vibration. The entire range of phonetics is said to have been originated from this. The damaru symbolizes creation. The upper left hand holds fire, causing dissolution, not destruction. In other words, it indicates the evolution of the law of karma and janma. The lower right hand shows Abhaya Hasta, a sign of protection or sustenance of what is created. The left foot is lifted, and that foot is pointed at by the outstretched left hand, signifying that Shiva's foot is the ultimate refuge of tired souls. The right foot crushes the demon Apasmara, who symbolizes ignorance. The arch around the figure indicates the entirety of space and creation, which is Shiva's theatre. He dances the cosmic dance to the cosmic sound of Omkara, which is pervading the whole creation. He dances as every paramanu, that is subatom, galvanizing the 5-fold activity of cosmic consciousness, which is bliss. The 5-fold activity are creation, protection, dissolution, illusion, and grace. He is both micro and macrocosmic. It is a matter of pride for us that icon of Nataraja is placed at the threshold of CERN, where the scientists are spending material and intellectual wealth in search of the God particle. What a dichotomy it is that the icon of Nataraja, which inspired great scientists like Fritz of Capra, through Ananda Kumaraswamy's book, The Dance of Shiva, is right there and yet not seen. The synthesis of science, art, and metaphysics elevates the minds of artists and physicists to experience the intangible form. What one needs is an open mind to experience this phenomena. Natya Shastra deals with the mind also. Natya is theatre art, and there is no maximum which is not included in it. It is the oldest extant literature in the world on dramaturgy. Apart from the analysis of the body, it gives the purpose of every movement. The goal of drama is to create appreciation. The characters are seemingly real. Art includes the whole of creation in it. The content of the play and the lyrics need to be communicated. The art of communication is called abhinaya. Abhi means in front, and ni is the root, which means drawing the meaning towards the spectator. It is the art of making spectators understand what is being performed. This process of creation of appreciation is given a formula: Vibhava, Anubhava, Vyabhichari, Samyogat, Rasa Nishpatti. Vibhava is cause, Anubhava is effect, Vyabhichari bhava is transitory emotions. Bhava can be understood as emotion. When all the above are mixed in the right proportion, it evokes rasa, an experience of beauty. These bhavas have to be communicated through abhinaya, and only then the spectators can understand and enjoy. 41 bhavas are enlisted, but only the first 8 are sthayi bhavas, stable emotions, which give rise to 8 rasas when enacted. One more rasa, which was added later, was Shanta. Abhinav Gupta, a great philosopher and propagator of Kashmiri Shaivism, wrote the Abhinav Bharati 1,000 years ago, which is a commentary on Natya Shastra. He equates enjoyment of a play to spiritual bliss for the simple reason that whatever may be the analysis of rasa, as 8 or 9, ultimately it is only one. Even if it's a terrible scene or a tragic enactment, the spectator who's sensitized to art derives an elevating experience. That appreciation is a momentary experience of the Atma, that is soul, which is eternally Anandamaya. This further makes rasa a spiritual experience and not just a physical feeling. Hence, according to Abhinav Gupta, aesthetic enjoyment, that is rasa, is only one from the philosophical point of view. Sat refers to the ultimate truth. Chit is one's own mind, and Ananda implies a soul. Nataraja is Sachitananda Murti, who is constantly performing the Ananda Tandava both externally and internally as every subatom right inside us. I have tried to give a panoramic view of our ancient wisdom, covering myriad subjects that have been dealt with from Vedic times. The 2 epics, Ramayana and Mahabharata, are called itihasas, and they contain enormous values. Itihasa means history, and therefore Rama and Krishna were not mythical characters, they were historic personalities. Mahabharata talks of warfare, including weapons based on mantra, that is born of mental power, emitting energy. What is today is yantra or mission-based, was mantra-based in ancient India. The 18 Puranas give us not only stories, but they are a treasure house of history, geology, genealogy, and geography. They have also references to various sciences. It is not a wonder that the traditional Panchanga Josier, the astrologer who writes the almanac, is able to predict an eclipse precisely like any other modern scientist. He does not have any gadgets. What is this native intelligence that the modern generations have neglected? It is time that modern technology goes into ancient wisdom for inspiration, and only Hyderabad can do it, and you've already started that. And you can definitely find a possible adaptation. The collective cognizance of our country should not go waste. You are the cream of intelligentsia of your generation, and I hope this convocation will lead you to synthesize modern scientific thought with the invaluable wisdom of our past. It is that, well, your chairman sounded not like a mere chairman of a great institution. I thought it was a very parental address to the children here. It is said that the bamboo that Lord Krishna blows into becomes a musical flute when it is hollow. Humans have to shed their ego and make space for the Lord to create the music of wisdom through us. May you be blessed with a great future as you depart from this extraordinary edifice of learning, which is constantly elevated through the knowledge of wisdom of your director and other gurus. Thank you once again for having called me, and my best wishes to all of you.